All right, now we're live. Ooh, look at that. Even popped up on my... That's quick, huh? Technology. Look at this.
Ooh.
Pops up on my feed like in 2 seconds. All right, good evening, everybody. What's going on? To the 1, and then the 3, and then the 4, and then the few people that have joined us. Smarter Than You podcast, Adam Hill, Jonathan Von Tobel with you. All right, dude, what's up? You're home. I was surprised.
Do you usually do like a full intro of like who we are and like what the show is and all that?
I mentioned the name. I probably should. Well, I don't know, because I feel like the only reason you're tuning in because you follow one of us on social media, right?
Some people find it. We talked about this. I don't know if it was on the air or off the other day. It doesn't really matter. But like so many more people watch this like during the day or listen to this during the day than do live. So I think there's a lot of people that just find it that aren't really our followers. Like the ones that are live with us and commenting, of course, are our followers and people that see us on Twitter and listen to the show and everything. But I think
Hey,
what's
up, Chris?
I think warm it up, Chris. I'm about to. That's it's an old school 90s crisscross hip hop song. But yeah, I think there is an audience for this that aren't really tuning in live and don't really follow us that closely. So maybe it is worth it to do the intro.
Okay. Well, I'm Jonathan Von Tobel. Full-time, I am an employee of the Vegas Stats and Information Network. Part-time employee of Lotus Broadcasting.
The full name of VEASAN is very rarely used.
How about this? A little bit of trivia for you. Once, of course, VEASAN takes off and becomes massive like ESPN. VEASAN, the Vegas Stats and Information Network, was originally supposed to be the Vegas Sports and Information Network.
Oh.
Yeah, huh? How about that?
Which one is better? I think Stats and Information better.
I think Stats is as well. I think that. Oh boy,
what's the fuck is he?
What is that? Yeah, where are you?
Oh, Red Rock. Is that Red Rock?
No.
No, that doesn't look like Red Rock.
But it was.
I don't see that. What is that?
Height? Oh, he's at a karaoke bar, maybe?
Oh, are you karaokeing?
I'm out.
That's a very astute observation.
Thanks for wearing the mask.
Right, good. I appreciate it. Are you inoculated?
There is. Hey, look who's coming out without a mask on. Can we see him?
Oh,
or is it?
Who is it?
No.
Oh,
hey,
no. Oh,
no mask. What the hell's going on?
I haven't left my house in weeks. I'm pretty sure we're good here.
Yo,
close.
Hey, I know that because Ryan and I caught it up all the time. Ryan's always home.
That's right.
You caught it up?
Yeah, COD,
Call of Duty? I know Call of Duty.
I mean, I guess. I don't know if that's how the young people say it.
Yeah, good times.
Yeah.
Who's better at cotting it up? I think I asked you this before, but you were Ryan.
So it's actually funny that you mentioned that because I have brought up to Ryan that we should do a 1v1, like essentially like super series, so we can finally decide who's better. Now, okay. I will say, so on Call of Duty the other day. Oh, by the way, great guess as to where Steve was. Yeah, Brady here. The green door.
Definitely at like Izakaya or one of those restaurants.
So there's on Call of Duty the other day, they're having like this 2v2 tournament. And so I was like, right, let's do it. Like, this is fun. We can like enter to win. I don't really know. I had nothing going on. So we did it. He sucked. He was awful. I was carrying the team the entire way. 10 seconds into every match, I would just hear, damn it. And then in the corner of my screen, I'd see so-and-so killed Big Mac. And I'm like, God damn it, bro. What are we doing? Just carrying us the entire way. And this is the thing. So it was, it's essentially just, kill each other, whatever. And it was the first to 6, in a match. We lost 6-5 in each match because he just couldn't give me one more fucking kill. Just help me out a little bit. So I think I'm better.
It sounds like it.
Yeah,
definitely, for sure.
I mean, I'm at least, I know you don't believe it exists, but I do. I'm at least more clutch than Big Mac, for sure.
At Call of Duty, you're more clutch? In the end, when it all comes, when it's all on the line?
Yeah, when it's when it's balls to the wall. Hey, This isn't no friendly, like just join a match and let's play team deathmatch. We're a tournament. We got stuff on the line. We want to win. And I think in two matches that we tried, 2 different tournaments, this is a very important stat, kill to death ratio. Okay. Obviously want a very positive KD ratio. In 2 matches, I was like 19-7, and Big Mac's like 7-16. I was like, what are we doing?
So wait, bro. I've always thought Call of Duty was goofy and just not kind of a waste of time and never done it. But now you're telling me that there's analytics involved?
Oh, dude, your KD ratio is very important.
Okay. No, man.
Yeah, like actually, and it breaks it. By the way, it breaks it down for you. Like there's a section on the screen where you can go to the barracks. It'll tell you not only your kill death ratio of all time, which, by the way, when I was in high school, my kill death ratio was like a 1.46. I was fucking good. All right, now I'm old, so I'm like I think I'm like a 1.18 or something like that all time. But bro, you got to have a positive KD ratio, and it breaks it down by gun, by the way, too. So like whatever weapon you use, it shows you your kill death ratio for like each weapon. It's ridiculous.
It is impressive.
I've tried to think of different analytics. So there was at one point, this is actually a really cool conversation because when everything shut down last summer, one of the things that I wanted to try to start covering at VSiN, which my bosses wouldn't let me do, was start to cover the Overwatch League. Yeah, esports and the Overwatch League. And, like I was going around and they had like a pretty rudimentary, and maybe they've updated or maybe I just didn't know where to find it. But like pretty rudimentary like stats and all that kind of stuff, but I wanted to cover esports quite a bit. And Circa actually started posting esports because there was nothing else that was up, and Overwatch League was one of the few things that were going. And I wanted to start like a cleaning the glass or like I don't know what's a stat web, a Ken Palm, but for esports. Okay. See if it would catch on. Just have all sorts of different like video game analytics, control time, kill death ratio. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I mean, people are pointing out my former GTA obsession. I'm glad people listen when I talk about that. I could not stop playing that game. GTA 3, it was just nonstop. And I've talked about it before. Like I would get off work at midnight. I was working 4 to midnight back in the day, and I didn't have any extra jobs like now. So it was like 4 to midnight, and then start playing video games at like 1 a.m. And then sometimes it'd be 3 p.m. and time to go to work again. Oh shit! I'm sure, but I just fucked around on that game though. Like I wasn't like trying to win it.
Yeah,
I literally was just like exploring the whole city.
You weren't following the storyline.
No, obviously just pulling in. You like pull into the park and just pick up hookers, and then like change your car's appearance so the cops can't get you after you shoot them. Right. Like that's all I was doing.
Kill them and take your money back.
Yeah. Dude. No, you go baseball bat. So you have to pay the prostitute in the park, and then the car would just start shaking or whatever. Right. And then you take the baseball bat out and just beat them with it, and then take your money back. Which that's a video game right there. That's how video games are supposed to be.
Which Grand Theft Auto did you play?
It was 3 and 4.
Okay.
Mostly 3. But yeah,
San Andreas was the shit.
Yeah, Vice City, and San Andreas, which were great. And then I played some Crazy Taxi also, if you remember that game.
Oh, of course,
which I loved. That was great too.
Nintendo 64 is a classic, Chrissy, but I've moved on to bigger things. I play on a PlayStation 5 now. Oh yeah, GoldenEye though, that's very good. Yeah, GoldenEye was the shit back in the day. You had to have played that, right, Adam? That's like
a little bit, but not much. As Chrissy pointed out, like yes, like stealing the ice cream truck and then changing the radio station and just driving around and like listening to hip hop on San Andreas and Vice City was amazing. That's how video games are supposed to be. That was a good time, but yeah, I had to stop. I pretty much just gave them up cold turkey. Although, speaking of analytics, if you look at some of my all-time stats on Retro Bowl, look out, bro. I haven't played in so long. Feels like an age that has passed me by. The Raiders have won like 7 straight Super Bowls. I'm in year 8.
Really?
I can't be stopped. I've lost like 2 regular season games over 7 years.
Dude, so I'm going to pull this up really quickly. So for those who don't know, Retro Bowl is Adam got me onto it, and it was our especially during the COVID time. Like nothing was going on. Like
when you
that
couldn't
thing.
leave the house.
Yeah, I ripped through season after season on I was playing on my iPad too because it was the big screen. You know what I mean? Like that's all I was using. But Retro Bowl is a free mobile game that you can play on your phone. Absolutely phenomenal. Whoever made it, it's incredible that they made it for free. They should. I don't know how you make money from something like that, but they should be millionaires.
Well, you turned me on to the Retro Bowl subreddit.
Oh boy.
Which is just a whole nother deep dive of just wasting time.
So good. People just posting their highlights. It's all it is.
And I watch them.
Yep.
I'm impressed. I'm like, okay, I'll watch some Retro Bowl highlights.
And it's an awesome design because you play like this. So like this will give you an example of it. So like this is your play screen. You can either tap it and you can just run the ball, which by the way, I learned in my later years, actually developing your run game is an insanely good weapon because I was unstoppable. I had one season where I ran for 2,000 yards. I had a 2,000-yard rusher. Holy shit. Nobody could touch me. So you either do that or your quarterback, you pull back on the screen and a little like dotted line appears and you can throw to any one of your guys.
Yeah.
And the line, the routes change. You can see like there's different route combinations, all of that kind of stuff. You can call audibles if you have enough, but your quarterback has to be experienced. Like if it's a rookie quarterback or a shit quarterback, you'll get like one audible to call, but good quarterbacks get about 4. Here's an example of a pass, by the way, where you're pulling it back and then your pass will like this. And don't get me started. The games where my quarterback got hurt, oh boy, really had to work some stuff.
Oh, it sucks. I mean, you at that point you have to hope you have a really good tight end and a really good running back, and you just give them the ball short. Just throw them short passes and just grind out first downs.
Graphics that appeal to my gens. Yep,
yeah.
That's true.
Oh yeah, it's so simple, so plain, but amazing. And what was that? I like the tips. I haven't read any tips on it. I gotta try to figure it out. It's great. Once you get a quarterback that can really air it out deep.
I didn't realize. Tips to help you own the gridiron. Let's see this.
Yeah. What do they got? They got to have some good info for us.
Oh, by the way, this is the worst thing that happened to journalism. The list.
What's the click?
Yes, the list that you have to click through. I will say there's a website, and I don't know. I think it's CBR or something like that. It's like, like a comic, whatever type website. They do a thing where it's either the list or you could just scroll down and continue reading, which who the fuck would ever click through the list? Yeah. Who's ever like, take me on this journey. Let me see what's going on here.
I hate it. Yeah, you can definitely run for 2,000 yards in a Retro Bowl season.
Oh, okay. Hold on. I'm trying to get it to go to the other one. Hold on a second.
But not if you don't have an elite running back. If you have a standard running back, you have no chance. You can't. Yes, the slideshow web pages, and especially like when they really tease you, like on a promoted Twitter or Facebook account, and it's like find out this, and then you click through it. It's like on the 30th click through. It's infuriating.
Oh yeah, and I was young, and they would get me where they would show you like the picture of like Amanda Bynes with like massive boobs, and you'd be like, look at her now, 10 years later, and you're like, wow, I wonder what happened. And then you click through it, it's like nothing. I'm like, God damn it!
But also, even if there is anything, it's like it's the 40th page. Like right. I just waited 32 minutes to get to this.
What is happening? All right, what are you seeing? You seeing the tips? Okay, here we go.
Oh yeah,
all right.
See some tips.
Retro Bowl, American game. All right, let's view the list. Let's see. Draft wisely. Yeah, no shit.
Obviously,
appreciate that. Yeah,
yeah. For those that haven't played, and it's just us that know this. Like, yeah, you play an entire season, you go through the playoffs, and then you have to decide. You have to like release guys to get under the salary cap. You have a 3-round draft. You have to scout players in the draft. By the way, that's an update. You might not be there yet. You have to scout players in the draft because it doesn't tell you their potential unless you scout them.
Yeah.
And then then you have to figure out how to keep. You can only have 10 star players, and everybody else is like a standard player. So you have to decide if you want to put them on offense or defense, and how to do it. I've given up on defense now. I basically give up a touchdown every possession.
Yeah.
And I've got all offensive players, including 5-star offensive linemen.
So my strategy has been just stock up on the defensive line because, like in short yardage situations, it actually helps out a little bit. Yeah. This is just my observation. But you're right. Like I'm like the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm like, screw it. Just have good red zone defense and then just score and go. By the way, I go for 2 every time. Fuck going for 1.
Yeah. It's easier to get a 2 than a 1.
Yeah.
Why would you ever kick it?
Yep.
Yeah, so like the Raiders in real life. That's essentially how I draft. Just all offense.
So Martin, Super Mario Kart is absolutely fantastic. Two things. Kart with a K, bro. Let's go, Martin. Let's get the show on the road. The other is, I don't know if I've told this. I think I've said this before on the air. Every year, Adam, my buddies have a Super Mario Kart tournament.
Really?
Where like they've it's been going on, I think, for like 10 years, 10 plus years. There's a trophy and everything. You get your name on the plaque. You get to put on it. It's a Super Mario Kart tournament. There's a little bit of a pool for money and things like that. I have never won it. I have come not very close. I'm not very good at Mario Kart, but it's on Nintendo 64. We do it every summer. Mario Kart is awesome.
I enjoy Mario Kart, but I'm bad at it. Mostly because like I just want let's race. Enough of your fucking mushrooms and your goddamn banana peels and
That's what we do, bro.
turtle shells and all. Let's just race each other.
Oh,
How do we do that?
The lightning bolt. Oh, what a clutch move!
And everybody gets small.
Yep.
It's so obnoxious.
And then on the one level where there's all like the I don't know, it's like I can't. But regardless, there's one level where there's like a massive jump onto the next area. You always save it. The person in the lead, you save it until they're right over the gap, and then you just do it. It's awesome. It's what we
Smart.
do.
Good Mario Kart strategy.
Nice.
That's how we're smarter than you by sharing.
That's right.
Brilliance. What are the more? Can I get some more retro tips?
Yeah. All right. So draft well.
Actually
This is critical because you don't want to draft someone in their position you don't need. Okay, appreciate
fair.
that.
True.
Okay. Next up, run the foot. Run the football.
Okay.
Both passing, running are great in retro ball, but definitely don't be hesitant to ram the ball down the defense's throat. This can be extremely effective once you get comfortable with the juke moves. Juking is easy to learn. All you need to do is a quick swipe on the screen. Swipe up to go your running back's right. Swipe down to go to its left. If to time it right, you can get in some sweet stiff arm moves and avoid tackles. Of course, it's wise to utilize the run at the correct times. For example, you probably don't want to run it on third down with 10 yards left for a first down. Yeah, I do actually, because it's 4-down territory every single fucking drive, bro. However, if you only have a few yards away, then ram your way through. This is more general football fundamentals, but it certainly applies in this game. How about that? Good tip.
Yeah, I mean, they're basically just telling you football strategy, not retro ball strategy.
I like on this. Didn't some girl let her boyfriend win you beat? Oh, John, you're right. That Adam, you would have freaked out that year. So the way we did it initially, wow, John, that's a good callback. I didn't remember you telling this story. So you would have freaked out about the rules, Adam, because there was a year where, and the format is we do a round robin first when we had enough people, back we could have like a big house party while we did it. And then, you would do the round robin, you'd seed the tournament, and then you would play the Mario Kart thing. We took it super serious. And there was one year in the round robin where this girl was in the round robin group that I was in, and she was just getting housed. Like in the first 2 matches, she was awful, but her boyfriend was freaking awesome at Mario Kart. And so we played 4 races in the round robin. And then after the second race, she's like, I don't want to play anymore. And so her boyfriend played. And on the way, he ended up winning the next 2. And I got eliminated in the back end by a point.
I was not allowed that.
Right. What is that? You don't just get to hand the controller off.
That's ridiculous. Who approved that? Isn't there like a commissioner?
I didn't want to be that guy.
You should be that guy.
But I kind of wanted to be the guy. You know what I mean? I did like at first I was like, oh, come on. And they're like, no, come on. And I'm like, no, come on. And then they were like, it's fine. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to do this. Look at this. John's got everything. So apparently I told you. John says that you did freak out. When you told freak out.
It's ridiculous.
Let's see. How about this? Third tip, work on passing vision. Passing the ball in the game is a ton of fun, but does require quick thinking. So it's a good idea to work on your passing ability in game. Plays are called for you, and they will tell you the routes of your receivers. Keep that in mind before snapping the ball. That's like a really obvious observation.
If you played the game, you understand how ridiculously obvious it is that like you have to look at the route tree before because you don't get to see it once the play starts. I hate this author so much.
Customized to your liking.
I despise the person.
This is the worst article ever. The 4th tip to own the gridiron in Retro Bowl is to customize your uniform. This is ridiculous.
I despise this person.
I feel like Colin Machowski had an idea for an article, and then he got to the 4th point, and he's like, "Wow, this really died out. I don't know what to do."
Could
Ghost
we
Panda Colin. I'm gonna tweet this guy.
tweet him now and see if he'll come on?
Should I
See if
send the
he'll come on
article? Should I send him the article? This is a shit article, bro.
Yeah, see if he'll come on the podcast. Someone will send him an invite to come on here and defend himself. I fucking hate Colin Mashofsky, or however you say it.
Have a super deep a conversation
Brady.
about
Brady, can you try to book Colin on the show in the next hour so we can trash him? Oh, it's so bad. Are you going to do this live? Are you going to send him a tweet right now?
Okay, let's see this. Hold on. I don't want to be mean, though. I don't want to be mean. Sorry. When I'm running a lot of stuff on the laptop, it gets a little slow. So
no, it's perfect. I like this. It's good.
Ghost Panda Colin. Let's see where we at. Content creator, Reddit for Poker Gamer. Ooh, okay. All right. Follow. DM.
Oh boy. This is not gonna happen. I think we can send it publicly.
Let's see. You see me typing?
Yeah.
Article was trash, bro.
On Retro Bowl. He's written like 1,000 articles.
Retro Bowl for life.
Oh,
That's it.
no.
That's all I got.
No. See if he responds. This will be great.
Yeah, DMs are open. I mean, Brady, let's be honest. I mean, come on, you got to keep the DMs open. What year was this GVT? I think this is like 3 years ago, 4 years ago. At least the round robin girlfriend story that I was just telling you.
I'm getting a lot of texts about something else. Like, have you heard about the invitational golf tournament one of our friends is hosting this weekend?
No, what is this?
So one of our I don't know if he wants me to talk about it, so I won't say it, I guess. But one of our friends he booked 24 tee times for this weekend.
Okay.
And he's setting up a golf tournament, like the Postmasters Invitational. And he's got 24 entrants, and he's trying to come up with 6 teams of 4 to compete against each other.
Okay.
And he just sent me the final list. He's been like shuffling names from one team to the other for like weeks. And he just sent me, he's like, this is the final list. What do you think? I'm like, I mean, does it matter? Like, aren't you just going to go out there and it's not Justin. Aren't you just going to go out there and play? Like, what are we doing? He's like, I want it to be even, but I also want like the groups to mesh well. Like, let's just go play. What are we doing? Let's get 4 guys and let's go. Because he sent me one where it's like 3 really good friends of each other. And then their 4th is somebody that they don't know that I'm friends with. But I'm like, why is he in your group? Like, well, I was trying to balance out the teams. And I'm like, wouldn't you rather just play with 3 guys that you're friends with?
Very true.
Weird. This is a weird setup. But I guess he's trying to make everything even. It's crazy.
I don't care enough about something to set up a tournament like that.
I'm trying to see the people in the tournament that you would know. A lot of them. Is there any of your fellow VSIN people?
I have no idea because this is the first I've heard of this.
Doesn't look like it.
I'm not a golfer.
Well, it's a lot of. Oh wait, never mind. I just realized something. It is a lot. There's a lot of sportsbook industry folk. And that
who set this up?
Well, it could explain why there's no VSIN.
Whoever set it up. Okay, all right. Yeah. Make that whittles it down. Yeah. For those who are wondering, so people who are nosy, they what's it called? John Carville. What was the gift that Mitch Moss reacted to? Mitch DM sent me a tweet about somebody saying, because I have for those who don't know, I have a ticket on Julius Randle at 22-1 to win Most Improved, and there was a New York media member, I can't remember who, like tried to claim that RJ Barrett was actually the most improved Nick.
Okay.
And not Julius Randle. And so he sent me this tweet, and I just responded with a gif of Batman saying, I'll look into it. So that was the that was exactly what that was.
Sports World tonight, I just saw it just before we went on. Bigger story from the Warriors game. The end of the Nuggets season or Steph Curry going for 53?
Oh, I fell asleep before. What happened?
Big injury, John.
Oh boy.
I don't think any updates are out yet. I'm not sure. But if I'm a doctor right now, Jamal Murray's out for the year.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I have no idea. I'm just speculating based on watching the play.
Reckless speculation, huh?
This is completely reckless speculation.
All right, let's see. It's not really good when the first tweet that pops up when I search Jamal Murray is from Nick Friedel, and it says Jamal Murray was in agony underneath the basket.
Dude, he was writhing in pain. He was driving down the middle, and you could just see the leg kind of just pop, and then he went down as he went to the rim.
All right, let's see this.
So I would say that
my mouse is dead, so bear with me. I'm not as swift as I used to be.
The Nuggets could be in some trouble.
All right, let's watch. Let's do what we always do in sports. Let's watch gruesome injury in slow motion. What do you say?
Oh, yeah. I like it.
Okay. Doesn't really do it a lot of justice. Let's see what happens. He's clearly in pain, though.
He's writhing.
I would say agony is a very, very good descriptor. That sucks, too. You remember the year that he came out in the draft? I don't know if you like, but his knee looks disgusting, too, by the way. That looks not good.
If they keep showing it, maybe they show the one. You can see it better from okay. You can see the one better from the basket angle. You can just see that he's it's non-contact, so it's never good.
Yeah, I love Jamal Murray, man. He's a really good player. The year that he came out, I remember trying to pound the table, being like, "Nah, Philly should draft this guy number 1. He's better than everybody." He's still pretty good. I don't know if he's better than the best one in that class.
Well, there's I just saw what it said that the team is shaken in the locker room.
Yeah,
that's can't be a good sign.
No, well, especially look, Jamal Murray. They're going to need him. I know they got Aaron Gordon, but he's a massive piece. He needs to be on the floor. That pick and roll game, that's arguably the best 2-man game in the NBA. Him and Nikola Jokic.
Here it is. That's the angle I was talking about.
All right, yeah. Let's check this out real quick. Yeah, him and Jokic together, that pick and roll both ways is absolutely deadly, dude. So good. That sucks if this is serious. Especially because
what if it's not serious and that's how he's reacting?
Right, he's just dramatic. Ooh, yeah. That was immediate. I thought it was when he landed, but it's when he goes off of the knee, huh?
Yeah, it's when he's planting.
And nobody really makes contact with him. That's not good. Ooh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that sucks, man. Yeah, non-contact injuries are scary as hell.
I think the point that Brady was making, or John Cervelli was making, Carvelli.
Nice.
No, not that one. That luckily there's a doctor on the floor, while they were playing, so they didn't have to go far to find medical attention. Dr. Draymond was there to really let him know what the problem was.
God, Steve loves Draymond Green.
He really does. And yeah, Steph went nuts tonight. So 53. I think,
that was cool. That was vintage Steph. 10 of 18 from 3-point range. That was kind of. I used to dislike the Warriors of old because it was just so boring. Oh my God, they're going to win every single game. This is ridiculous and unfair. But that was pretty cool to see Steph bring that back a little bit. All right.
Warriors fighting for that 10th spot, and hopefully it'd be nice to have him in there.
All right. Explain to the folks, Adam.
Oh boy,
who Mackenzie Dern is. For those who don't know,
I don't know if I want to. I'm canceled. I don't know if you know this, John.
Oh, you are.
Apparently.
What happened?
Well, that's part of the story. I'll get to here. But Mackenzie Dern is a UFC fighter. She, I love this video. It's so great. She is, I would say the best jiu-jitsu practitioner that's ever been in the UFC.
Okay.
Where she is multiple time world champion. Basically when she fights, if the fight goes to the ground, it's over. And early in her career, she looked like she had a lot of talent, but couldn't strike at all. Now she's actually a legit title contender, because it doesn't matter who she fights. If it goes to the ground, she's probably winning. So like she might lose along the way, but once she gets to a title shot, it's like 50-50. She could win. If it goes to the ground, she's probably going to win. So she's a threat. And what she has done is like she hasn't really learned how to strike, but what she learned is that you just go kind of crazy in your striking. So she got very wild and reckless in her striking, and it's for a purpose. Like when the fight gets wild and scrambling like that, it's hard to prevent takedowns. So she's really just trying to keep people off balance and in order to get a takedown. But she has become a very controversial figure in MMA for this video that we can watch in a second. But essentially, here's the story of Mackenzie Dern. She's born in Phoenix, raised in Phoenix. She is now a resident of California. She has spent a lot of time in Brazil. Her dad is Brazilian. Her husband is Brazilian. She has dual citizenship. She speaks fluent Portuguese. She's absolutely a Brazilian. But she's from America. She lives in America. But it's dual citizenship. Like
by the way, where we speak English.
No, it's not the official language, so I'm not going to say that. But
that was sarcasm.
Yeah. So, but this has become a lingering thing because if you watch Mackenzie Dern when she was a world champion in jiu-jitsu, as we're about to do when she was in her mid-teens, she spoke like I've said, like she spoke like she was on the movie Clueless. Like she's American, like she's like a Valley girl.
That's good.
And now I'm not kidding about this. I've been around her when she's speaking Portuguese, and then she looks around for like somebody like, how do you say this word in English? And you're like, you're from Phoenix. Now, people get very mad about this, the fact that she has created an accent over the years. I think that's unfair to her. Like I said, husband Brazilian. She did have an interpreter, but that wasn't her doing. The UFC the production staff sent the interpreter into the cage because they thought she didn't speak English, which was funny. And also it was a confusing time when she was in Brazil and she was going to answer in both Portuguese and English. So it was a very confusing time. But yes, they did send a translator into the cage for her. But like now, if you listen to her talk, like you would think she's Brazilian and she just learned how to speak English. It's actually the other way around. And people get very angry about this for some reason. I don't. I think
and they get humorous. Mad. They get mad at her. Correct.
They get mad at her
trying to assimilate and trying to take over a Brazilian identity.
Well, and they're saying that she's faking it. Like
right.
she's just faking this accent to pretend. But it's fair. Like if you're born and raised in America and even live in America, but you learn a different language and you're spending a lot of time there, and your significant other is from there, your parents are from there, you're around them all the time, and you're spending time in that culture. I absolutely think it's possible to develop a very strong accent.
By the way,
it's a possible thing.
You got a family friend who actually does. Spent time in Japan, learning how to cook, things like that. Came back, started a restaurant out here. He's got an accent like he's from Japan, but he's from here. He's from America. So like developing the accent is a very common thing.
So I think it's a funny like little side note about her as a potential champion that people get so worked up about this, that she has this accent. But what happened this weekend was that the UFC had a promo for her fight, and it said that she is, quote, a rising contender from Brazil. And so I tweeted out like, hold on. I understand all of these things that I just described to you.
Right.
Like I understand all of this. I get all of it for sure. Objectively and factually, she is not from Brazil. She is from Phoenix, born and raised there, now lives in California. She's not from Brazil. And so I tweeted that out as a grammatical thing. Like you can't use the word from. You could call her Brazilian. You can't say she's from Brazil. So it was more like a grammatical and a factual thing than anything else. But people took it to mean I was attacking her for, being proud of her heritage and her culture. And then a Brazilian reporter kind of amplified this. And then people were just outraged at me. Still to this moment. And it's frustrating only because like my phone keeps dying. I can't stop with the mentions. My phone just keeps going.
That's awesome.
It's annoying the hell out of me. And Steve was like, you love that. And it's true. I do, for a day. This is like 70 hours later. We're dealing with this right now. Me and the reporter, I know the reporter, I talked to her and she was like, oh, I get it now. And then she tweeted out like, hey, I understand what he's saying. It's cool, kind of drop it. But now people are attacking her for then backing down. Like it's gotten so ridiculous now. Either way, that's all I meant. It was a factual thing. But I do want to watch this video for people to understand, like, Mackenzie Dern of 5 years ago and 6 years ago is very, very different from the Mackenzie Dern now, and that is what people are all worked up about now.
I'm getting distracted by a lot of things, including everything we're talking about.
Yeah.
But I have something to report.
Uh-oh.
Colin Ghost Panda has followed me back.
Oh, okay. Did he respond?
He did not respond to my DM though.
You gotta send one in and say, I do have a problem with your Retro Bowl tips. Your Retro Bowl tips article.
I feel like you really petered out at the end though. I feel like you really ran out of steam there at the end.
You just gave up. It was so bad.
All right, we ready for this?
Yes.
Let's do it.
I'm a blue belt underneath my dad, Megaton Diaz. And my background is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Can you hear it?
My dad's reaction when I wanted to go into MMA was, you're too pretty. I don't want to see my daughter getting hit.
Okay. The music.
I think Jiu-Jitsu in Arizona is developing very rapidly.
There's zero accent.
Growing. We're producing a lot of champions.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to be one of the top states in the United States.
Yeah.
Arizona.
A lot of the training in Brazil is more like rolling. You do a lot of just rolling in the classes. It's not as much a specific training as the United States. You do like 10 rounds, in each training session, and it's just go, and the levels. It's a different level, Hey guys, I'm Mackenzie Dern. I'm here in Maine.
Still pretty strong American accent.
Immersion camp. And it's great. We're about to go inside, and I'm going to show you guys some great techniques. Let's go check it out. Sometimes I'll be like all lazy in the training, and like my grips are weak, and I'll be like, oh, I don't really want to train, and he'll just like trying to make me go, and then like he'll say like, oh, someone's training harder than you right now somewhere in the world, and then I'll be like, oh man, I have to train harder.
So pretty strong American.
And like back then, you never fought any girls. But my first tournament, I fought a girl and I lost. And like I was fighting, and my dad told me to do something, and I looked at him, and then she took me down, and then I cried, and then I lost.
You can kind of hear it there. It's
Brazilian. It's Brazilian, though.
I was able to see outside. Sometimes you just need a break, And I feel like maybe I was sad about the knee surgery, but maybe that's what I needed to bring me here, to help me put to this level. I was missing something. When I know that I found this something, And they treat me like a little sister, So like they push me and kind of like mess me up a little bit, But they like really care for me and to help me get better. So I'm like so comfortable there, and I know that I have like the jiu-jitsu community supporting me on this MMA transition.
Okay.
Mackenzie, how's it been?
Yeah, it's been good. Like I've been training hard, but also it's here for like vacation. So I had like Christmas here and New Year's, and was eating like a lot of food, great food. So now it's kind of like a little bit hard to come back to the training for the Europeans.
I want to see you truly live.
What the hell?
I want to see you truly be who you are. Ah!
What the?
So I just sent you another link for like this press conference from this week.
Okay.
We're just like, now you're just straight Brazilian, which again, I'm not fighting back against that. Like, she is absolutely Brazilian. She spends time there, and her family is there, and all those things. But like, it's very strange how it has developed, and I get why people are like obsessed with it. I think it's explainable. Like, I think there's a reason for it. But my whole like tweet had nothing to do with this. It was more just the use of, you can't say somebody's from Brazil if they're literally from Phoenix. You just can't.
Wow, Adam went super boomer with this email.
Which one? Oh, in the subject line?
Yeah, you put the link in the subject line.
I know. It's bad. I was trying to do it in a hurry.
Let's see here. I got an ad plan. Hold on. Get this set up. Yeah, so I can totally understand the accent thing. I think, look, like, she wasn't the most eloquent of speakers early in the video, period. So that probably plays a part. But yeah, the action around 2017 really picked up. So did you?
Now it's out of control. Now it's completely out of control. And now to that one, no.
See, don't think the accident is strange, says LB Pickle Gamer. Had 2 jobs in high school, mini golf attendant, uppity dining server. My friends could tell where I worked the night before by how I talked that day.
Yeah, I'm with it. I'm saying, like, I understand how this happens and why it happened for sure. That's not my point. Is like, it's a thing. Like, it's a thing that people are obsessed with is the only thing I'm pointing out. And it's interesting to watch it develop and to see it develop over time. All those things are interesting. Like, I'm not saying it's fake. I'm not saying all those things. Like, I'm just pointing it out as what people are interested in. But my tweet had nothing to do with that. My tweet was just the UFC saying she's from Brazil is not correct. But here's her this week.
Okay, let me see. I'm trying to sync up this audio. Hold on a second. What is happening with this video? All right, it's not going to be synced up. You can just hear.
Okay.
Definitely with Nina, because I know
What is happening?
striker, so it was that typical striker versus grappler. My last fight, Virna, she has like good grappling, so even though I was more confident to go to the ground, even against grappler, but I knew that the way to, not risk too much getting a broken nose again or things like that was to take it to the ground. So that was the game plan, that was the idea, and I'm really, really happy that I was able to get it.
Not to disrespect your opponent, but when you're on the ground with you fighting, do you feel the difference in levels? Can you just feel like, okay, that this is there and they don't see it? Can you just feel that?
I like press conference questions.
100%, all the time when any of the girls that I fight with.
It's there for sure. No, I mean, look, I'm with you. And the thing that's weird, and I guess I can kind of understand, like, if you're so ingrained in the culture with, like, for a certain extent of time, forgetting a word, things like that, unless it's something simple, like man, how do you say nose? How do you say that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, if it's something like that, like, all right.
No, the quick story is I was around one time when she forgot the word for fish. She was like, "Pesha." How do you pesha? That's Portuguese for fish, I believe.
Yeah.
I was like, "Come on, it's fish." But again, when you're going back and forth, like, I don't speak 2 languages. I don't know. I don't go back and forth. So I think it's fair. I'm only pointing out the fact that people are obsessed with this.
Yeah.
I just think it's kind of interesting. Yes, absolutely. She went to school in Phoenix, as you heard her say. Like, she's talking about our state and all those other things. Yeah, she went to school here. That's where she's from. Now, again, she goes back and forth all the time. Her family, absolutely Brazilian, husband Brazilian, child Brazilian, dual citizenship, all those things. She is actually Brazilian. Like, that shouldn't be fought back against. The only issue I had was the UFC saying she's from Brazil. No, not true. Not true. That can't, like, that's not part of the development.
Yeah. That's awesome.
It's crazy.
I'm down with this. All right. Hey, before we get out of here really quickly, there's 2 things I wanted to talk about. First off, anything that we should know about the Knights trade deadline, anything that matters very much about what they did.
Not really.
Right. And it seemed like acquiring some assets and some picks to potentially move down the road. Nothing really needle moving.
Depth. I'm interested to see how they kind of piece it together. But listen, they didn't really have a whole lot of cap space, and I think it may have been, I think the most intriguing part is whether they thought about or received. I'm sure they received calls on Fleury. I would love to know whether they thought about making a deal. Whether they had to think about it. But I pointed this out, and sometimes owners are interesting. And Bill Foley did come out and say, like, the team will not trade Marc-Andre Fleury. He said that before the season. He said Marc-Andre Fleury is here as long as he wants to be here. We're not going to trade him. And if you're the front office, like, you have to, if the owner is very strong about something, you have to back him up, and you have to kind of accept that and go with that. But at the same time, if that wasn't the case, like, I guess my question, to be more direct about it, is, were they interested in trading him, and did Bill Foley say they couldn't?
Right.
Because that would have been the easiest way to open up some space to actually do some work and actually do something. You
obviously know much more about this franchise. From the outside looking in, that seems like a very plausible situation, because it doesn't jive a franchise that has been pretty cutthroat with the drive to get better, right? Gallant. Okay, get out of here, bro. We're done with you. You know what I mean? Like things like that, moves like that, it doesn't really calculate. It doesn't gel that they would then just be like, no, let's keep Fleury. And, this isn't an anti-Fleury thing. This is selling at the top of the market, getting some stuff, saving some cap space and improving your team. It just doesn't make sense that a team that has been so adamant, so crazy about getting better, no matter what the cost, especially like personal cost to guys who have been there since the Golden Misfits era, like it doesn't make sense that they wouldn't be willing to trade him unless it came from higher up.
Yeah, and it's possible maybe they just didn't get a good enough offer. It is like as much as we talk about the contract being ridiculous, like other teams know that it's ridiculous too. And so like it's possible other teams are like, nah, no thanks, we're not interested. Yeah, he had a great, first 20 games of the season, but he's started to struggle a little bit more lately and he hasn't gotten any support. That doesn't help, but his numbers aren't as good as they were earlier in the season. He could be fading again, and he's owed, another more years at $7 million, which is kind of ridiculous. So, I think that all these things play into it. I'm very interested to know what McCrimmon and McPhee would have done had that not been a constraint. And if it was a constraint, like if they would have gone to Foley and said, hey, we're trading him, would he have blocked it? Like, I don't know. Did that happen? I don't know. Like, that's what I would be interested in knowing about the trade deadline, because as it is, they didn't have a whole lot of maneuverability. And as it said, they basically got a rental player in Janmark, and they hope that he can do something, on the third line to help kind of bolster that unit a little bit, although they've been playing a little bit better as of late. Of course, yeah, definitely the owner block a trade. Yeah, I mean, he's got the final say. It's his team. And so, yeah, that can happen. But yeah, it's really, really interesting. And yeah, to Mark and LV's point, yeah, Puckopedia has really good breakdown on contracts and I go back and forth between football and hockey, but there's a really good salary cap site in hockey too. I use Over the Cap for football. I'm trying to remember what the hockey one is, but yeah, there's really good contract sites out there for those. I mean, if you're a super nerd about this stuff, it's very detailed stuff.
Look, the NBA cap stuff is extreme. All cap stuff is fucking confusing with contracts. But like I was reading some stuff today, just going through all the trade deadline acquisitions and moves, and there's all of this. All the cap shit was making my head spin. I could not even get into what was happening.
Yeah, thanks, Brady. Cap friendly is the one. And yeah, like John, if you were, I mean, the NBA is crazy too, and the NFL is nuts covering that. To me, the NHL one is the most insane because it's like it's a day-to-day cap, and it's like the Knights have a staff working on salary cap like every day, where they're sending guys down between games.
Yep.
And trying to manipulate the cap in that way. And Steve said, "Do you mean manipulate by like illegal?" Like, no, they're finding like every possible loophole they can find to save $100 here, $1,000 here, to stay under the cap for the season, which is it's nuts. But that's how they're doing it. They're right up against it, and it's crazy to think back to a few years ago where they were like near the salary floor, and all of a sudden they jumped up to the end. Oh, Big Karen is the Ryan McKinnell nickname.
Big Mac.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's very intriguing, and it's interesting to know what they would have done. I mean, there's things they could have done. They could have moved like Nick Holden's contract if somebody would have taken him and tried to get somebody there. Definitely things that could have been done. And also the Ryan Reeves injury is kind of significant as well. We don't know how long he's going to be out, how long he's going to miss, but he's been playing pretty well. Obviously the stats aren't there. That's not really his role. But I think he's been creating some chaos more than he really was early in the season. He's been working with Carrier quite a bit.
Oh, you don't say, huh?
What? Knocking somebody out?
Right, yeah. I was going to say, creating a little bit more chaos. Yeah, it seems like.
But, I mean, just more than that, like a lot of the forechecking and keeping the puck in the zone and just really driving teams nuts like that line has done in the past. They're getting back at that. So we'll see how long he's out. It's not good news for the Knights.
So let me ask you this. So the hit on Jordan Gross, I'm not a hockey expert by any means in terms of like the intricacies of the game and the spirit of the rule, all that kind of stuff. When I watched that, he's clearly a little high. Yeah. I didn't see him go for the head. I think I saw him just want to just knock him essentially the bleep out. Was that actually a dirty hit, or is it nobody? I shouldn't say nobody. The gist I get is that the larger hockey community has a dislike for Ryan Reeves, and that really bled into the analysis of that hit, because I did not see anything with my novice eyes that would make me think, wow, that was dirty.
So the biggest question about the hit was like, because everybody was so focused on where he hit him, right? Chest or head.
Right.
The biggest question is, where was the puck? And
that was a legit hit then.
Yeah. And so he had just gotten rid of it. And the claim from the Coyotes was that he had already gotten rid of it, and now you're hitting him when the puck's already gone. Not true. I think he had already started the check when he still had the puck. So I thought that was the part that made it closer to acceptable. I mean, the issue really with that play was that Ryan Reeves is so much taller.
Right.
And that, when he tried to go to the chest, he not accidentally, but, he comes up and gets him in the head just because it's a shorter guy. And I think that is really what made it look worse. Now, I thought watching the play that he was clearly going to get suspended. Not going to happen. So, it wouldn't have mattered anyway. I mean, he's out for a while.
The puck is still in the shot.
Yeah.
Like, he literally just gets rid of it. How do you even question that?
Well, listen, you still can't blatantly go to the head, but
I thought he made contact with the chest. I mean,
yeah, it seems like he got him in the chest and then came up as he followed through.
Yeah,
but right there, if you as it stopped right there, I don't know if it stopped at the same point as for you that it is for me, but it looks like, okay, the shoulder's right in the head, but he had started at the chest and just kind of came up.
Right there.
Yeah, it's close.
Boom.
But again, look how much taller Reeves is than, and I know he's got his knees bent, but
right.
That's why it looked higher than it really was. I think. I thought at first it was definitely going to be bad, and it was definitely going to be a suspension. But as the game as I watched it more and more, I was like, well, I think it's going to be closer. And then it looks like it's not going to happen. So good for the Knights. But again, it doesn't matter. Ryan Reeves is out. He's injured, so he's on injured reserve. So he's missing games anyway. He got hurt later in the game.
Is there any truth to the rumor that Gross was not checking his watering clock correctly?
That's what makes Reeves mad. Or he was ordering a different beer.
Right.
It's not getting the Revo 7.5 beers.
You only watered. I don't even remember. I don't have a log, so I don't know the times. Only water at certain times.
He did just wipe that dude out. That was vicious.
All right, here's a really big question for you as we head out. Last one from me. The suspense is killing you.
It is.
Is Julian Edelman a Hall of Famer?
Just cut it off. Of course not.
Is Sammy Watkins a Hall of Famer? Or no, not Sammy Watkins. What was the one you retweeted? Kelvin Benjamin.
Kelvin Benjamin.
A Hall of Fame wide receiver.
No, he's not.
Could I make the argument that, of course, Julian Edelman is not a Hall of Fame wide receiver, but there is a player out there. Hold on, everybody's freaking out. No, oh, stop. Oh, my God. There's a player out there, Adam, that if he makes it into the Hall of Fame, there is no question and no argument that Julian Edelman is a Hall of Famer.
Oh.
Huh.
I know the answer.
What is it?
Eli Manning.
Yes.
Yeah.
If Eli Manning is a Hall of Famer, if you consider Eli Manning a Hall of Famer, then Julian Edelman's a Hall of Famer.
Because he did all of his work in the postseason and was very average in the regular season.
Correct.
Yeah.
1,000% correct.
Yeah.
If you're, it's like, right? Like, tell me that's not a fair, if you're going to be out there, because I haven't looked, I'm not going to act like I've seen people who say he shouldn't be a Hall of Famer and then tout Eli. But if you're one of those, if you think Eli Manning should be a Hall of Famer, or if these voters elect Eli Manning to the Hall of Fame, then click those pens and get Julian Edelman in there, because that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're absolutely right.
Hopped up on Molly, and
the issue is
that wasn't. I don't think that was him, right? Wasn't that Wes Welker, who was kind of hopped up at the Kentucky Derby and throwing cash everywhere?
I'm sure they both were.
Shocking, Brady. You confused just two small wide receivers.
Racist. I think I completely agree with you. I mean, I said it, so I mean, I agree with you. We're on the same page on that. But there is the big discrepancy that they're going to make. The argument they're going to make is quarterback, and they'll say quarterback is much more important. Edelman just had Brady. That's why he had so much success in the postseason. Eli had to do it himself because he's the quarterback, which is, of course, nonsense.
I mean,
but
I'll play devil's advocate. I watched Julian Edelman toast the secondary of the Los Angeles Rams in that Super Bowl. Like, he was getting wide open. That wasn't Tom Brady in that Super Bowl. Edelman was fucking awesome.
Yeah, he was, and I agree with you. I think it's either both or neither.
Right.
And I would say neither. But that is what it's going to come down to, because Eli will get in. Like, it's definitely going to happen with that last name and those Super Bowls and being in New York. He's going to get in. And so then at that point, I think you're right. You almost have to put Edelman in. If you're going to make the argument for Eli, then you'd have to make all those same arguments for Julian Edelman.
Nope.
But I'd rather just see neither be in there. I think that's the appropriate.
This is Eli's record.
Is it career record?
Yeah, I think he is 500, isn't he?
The Jeff Fisher of quarterbacks.
And look, Pro Martini Maker, I'm not making the argument about. Personally, I could not care less about Hall of Fame debates. I think they're
the worst,
super boring and dumb. I'm just saying, if these things matter to you, then that's the comp. That's the resume comp. Eli Manning, average as shit, but was really good at 2 Super Bowl runs and is probably going to be immortalized for all time in Canton, or until the sun takes us off.
Stupid face bust.
Right. I like it. Beard, Hall of Fame with her. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you on that, but and I'm also with you on the Hall of Fames are just so dumb.
Oh, every year with the baseball Hall of Fame, every year it's the same thing. I'm like, who cares? Who cares?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you go you go. Have you been to a Hall of Fame?
No, I would never waste my money.
Well, when I was like baseball Hall of Fame when I was a kid, like gotta go there. I've been to the football one.
No,
that was kind of cool.
I'd rather watch paint dry.
But you just go and like check it out, and you're like, all right, well, who's in? I get to see this, and then you leave, and then I think you realize like, oh, this whole debate is stupid. Like, whoever's here is here, and I check it out, and then I walk out.
Right?
What does it matter? Like, it's so dumb. That's how stupid the debate is, though.
Like, is Terrell Owens a Hall of Famer? No, right? Or he is?
Great question.
Is Terrell Owens a Hall of Famer?
I'm not kidding that I literally don't give a fuck who's in the Hall of Fame and who's
right.
not.
So I will say, like, this is a good example. If Terrell Owens is not a Hall of Famer, I'm always going to remember Terrell Owens as being a fucking awesome wide receiver.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if he is, okay, so he was, right. Okay. All right, good. 2018. Wow, 2018? 3 years ago? Seriously?
Yeah.
Wow. Shows you how much I really care.
Yeah, 2018. I don't care.
When Skip Bayless wasn't into this chat, he loves this shit.
DM him. See if he'll come on.
There's somebody that says Julian Edelman, or no, I just put somebody's taking the opposite stance on you on the Julian Edelman topic.
We get him and the Retro Bowl grader guy with the tips. Get them both on at the same time, and then just let them talk to each other. It'd be perfect.
Is that true?
I mean,
it kind of makes sense. He had some 7-win seasons mixed in there, but Phillip Rivers did too.
Phillip Rivers has more kids than Rivers has, for sure. Or than Rodgers has wins.
No, he did not.
Oh, that hurts.
He followed me back though.
That hurts.
Is there a chance he's using TweetDeck and I just didn't see the DM on the very right side of the screen where I keep mine?
It's possible.
It's possible. It's possible. All right, you got anything else before we get out of here?
I don't think so.
All right.
What do you think? What do you think? Big Karen and Cofield are eating
some like Japanese hot pot or like Korean barbecue or something like that.
Have you gone back to Korean barbecue or just went the once?
Just the one time. I got to go with somebody who. Well, by the way, we got to go to Texas State Brazil.
You know what happened?
Happened?
I tried to make a rereservation last week. There was not a reservation for Thursday or Friday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Insane.
Well, we got to look it up because I talked my wife into it. She wants to go.
She's in?
Yeah, Isabel's in.
Oh, can we take Diego?
Sure.
Oh, yes.
Totally take Diego.
Oh, man. This is great. Yeah, we're gonna have to do this. We'll have to find a time when we can actually get a reservation. But did you? I don't know how much you want to like. If you're what it matters or whatever. But did you drive to get Diego?
Yeah. Well, I drove halfway. Like so. Like there's.
Oh, you met.
Yeah. So like if you go along if you go along the 58 in like Mojave, there's a Denny's. That's like our meeting point with her family.
So it's like, what is it, like 3 hours from each?
Yeah, like, well, since I drive, like, 2.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you just go to like Barstow and then cut up.
Yep.
Sort of like Bakersfield. And then
Bro.
I was gonna get to this. Like you said there was a very, very lovely store there.
Dude, for the what's the last one? So it's Baker and then Barstow, right?
On 15, it goes Baker, then Barstow, and then Bakersfield.
So we had to stop at Barstow because the kid needed to take a crap. And, we thought that he had, because he's potty trained, but we put, like, on that trip, we put a pamper on him just because, like, hey, if you got to poop, just do it because we're just going.
Why didn't he go at Denny's?
Huh?
Why didn't he go at Denny's when you were there?
He's 2. And, like, 30 minutes out. Like, not even, 15 minutes after we left.
Fucking kids.
It's like, Dad, I got to poop. And I'm like, oh, my God. Yes, Aaron, he had to take a Barstow. That's very good. In this Barstow, though, that we stopped in, Barstow is an awful town. But,
Awful.
Mark, there is in Barstow a gem, a diamond in the rough. In Barstow, there is literally the nicest Rite Aid I have ever been to in my life. The nicest Rite Aid I have ever seen constructed. The interior was like all brand new. It had like very high ceilings. It had TV screens. It had massive liquor section. It was beautiful. It was nicer than any pharmacy I have ever been in Las Vegas. I swear to God.
It had to be brand new, right?
I mean, I guess I didn't look when it was built, but it looked new. Susanville, California, Reddick Rite Aid.
Is that where it was?
Aaron Solgood says that's a destination. Right?
This is, I mean, who knew? This is great. I mean, did you feel bad that you were just desecrating this lovely Rite Aid with your son's just?
Well, he didn't poop. He didn't poop there. He already pooped his pants, so I just had to go in and get wipes and get out. Yeah. But it was like, it was incredible. Bro. Well, yeah. Is the McDonald's in Barstow the one that's at the gas station? No, that's the Baker one. Am I wrong? Or
the one in Barstow that, I mean, I'm sure there's several in Barstow, but I'm sure the one he's referring to is the Barstow station, which used to be like a train station.
Yeah.
And now they've turned it into, there's like a McDonald's, a Dunkin' Donuts. By the way, you want to know any single exit on the road from here to LA? I got you. I know it's on the exit. But
it's down Zizek Road.
Nothing. There's nothing there. There's absolutely nothing on it. I'm driving to LA next Monday, by the way. That'll
nice.
Be fun. But yeah, it's that place, which I definitely know somebody that was robbed there.
Nice.
Like 15 years ago.
Not surprising.
It's a disaster. And then I had a disastrous run-in with a homeless person at the rice bowl place across the street from there too.
So I don't know what happened, but so when I was driving to meet them, I stopped at that McDonald's Barstow station. Classic stop, just had to go pee. Barstow station was closed.
Really?
Only the McDonald's was open.
That's like the first exit when you arrive like into the Barstow area.
Yep. Yeah. And across the street is the Starbucks. A little down the road is the Burger King, whatever. It was closed. Yeah. Shut down.
Wow.
I didn't look inside, so I had to use the McDonald's. And good God, that was one of the most disgusting bathrooms I've ever been in my life. I felt like I got pink eye just stepping into the room.
Are you trying to go to bed right now?
Why? Yes. Why?
I was going to tell you a quick road trip story about another spot with a McDonald's on the road. So I don't believe I've told this before. Just
a number one, Brady. Just a number one.
There you go.
I'm not a public pooper.
I will again protect the identity of somebody. Actually, the same person that's organizing the golf tournament. This story involves. So I have
a famous podcast.
Yes, he does have a famous podcast. I bought the homeless guy I bought a hotel room for, by the way. That's the question. That's on the chat. Yes, I did. I bought a hotel room for him. I have an Italian restaurant in San Diego that I love.
Oh, I've heard this.
I'm obsessed with it, right? And we were going to drive home from San Diego that day, and I was like, we're gonna eat lunch at this place. I love this place. We didn't get to go there on this trip. Like, I want to go there and have lunch. So we did. And he's like, that's a huge lunch to be sitting in your stomach. I'm like, I don't care. We're going. I was fine from it. He ate way too much, and literally, he was like 10 minutes into the drive. He's like, my stomach is just it's crushing me. And I was like, he probably had too much pasta, but that's fine. It ended up being one of those drives home from San Diego that is like an 8-hour drive because sometimes, like, I think it was a Sunday, everybody's driving home. Amateur move. We shouldn't have done it. Or it was a Friday. That's what it was. So everybody's coming up to Vegas. Amateur move. We should have just waited until overnight or Saturday, whatever. But so we're driving back, and we are stopped. Like, we basically go like 5 miles in like 3 hours. And he's like, dude, we have to stop as soon as possible. Like, this has to happen. I got to get out of the car. So we got to it's just after Rancho Cucamonga and 215 and 15 merge. As you're kind of going up, I think it might be Roseville Road, maybe the name is something like that. But there's on the right side of the road as you're coming north, on the right side, there's a gas station and a McDonald's combination on the side. It's like the first thing you do before you go up into the pass. And so we stopped there. We're like, all right, here, get out of the car. You have to go destroy the restroom here. It's going to be ugly, but go ahead. So he's at his limit. He basically like shuffles into this gas station because he's like, I'm not even going to make it in there. He's running in, he's shuffling in, he gets into the bathroom, and there's one stall in the men's room, and it's locked. So there's urinal, and the stall is locked, and he's like, oh my God, he's freaking out. He's in a panic mode. He's standing there. He's like walking in a circle around the bathroom to just try to like avoid just passing out. And he finally like looks, he's not hearing anything. So he like does that kind of glance underneath, like check out the bottom of the stall, and he realizes like there's nobody in there.
Oh,
it's empty. It's just locked. So he's like, what the fuck? So he goes back into the gas station. He finds an attendant, and this lady is like, she's like, can I help you? And he's like, he's just panicking, and she could tell like he's sweating, he's freaking out. He's like, I really have to use the stall. Somebody locked it from the inside. I don't know what's going on. Like, I got to go in there. And she was like, oh, those kids did that again? He's like, again? Is this like a habit? Is this what the local kids do for fun?
This group of ne'er-do-wells is always just running in and like locking the bathroom.
And then like sliding underneath the door.
Yeah.
So he's like, I don't know what to do. So she goes in with like this contraption. She's trying to get it unlocked underneath. She can't get it. She's like, I don't know what to tell you. It's locked. And she goes, but I can tell like this is going to be a problem. He's like, yes, it's a problem. And so she goes, okay, I'll let you in the women's room and I'll stand guard at the door to the women's room. And he goes, I don't think you want to be anywhere near what's about to happen. And she's like, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Just get in there. I'll block the door. It's fine. He goes in and he said, like, what is happening in that bathroom could be a horror movie. Like, it's just a disaster going on. And less than 30 seconds into being in there, he hears outside the door, Mommy, they won't let us in the bathroom. It's like a young girl, like sounds about 6-7 years old. And there's a whole family. There's 3 young girls, a mother and father. And the woman at the door explaining to them that they can't go in there because it's closed temporarily. And they're like, why can't we go to the... And she's explaining over and over, you can't go in there. And he's like, oh my God, I have to leave this restroom at some point. And they'll know what is going on in here. They're going to know what's like. There's no hiding what's going on in this place.
Jesus.
So finally, he's done. He washes his hands. He's like runs out the door past this family, and he just hears the little girl go, "Mommy, that's not a lady." And he literally just runs and we need to go. We need to leave right now. It was. I've never seen somebody so like relieved and yet panicked and upset about what they just did,
bro. Yeah, when you got to shit, bro. Worst place you've ever pooped. Mine was the Newark airport when I had food poisoning coming back from a business meeting.
Oh no!
Yeah, it was so bad. I ate some bad broccolini. When we got to the airport, we were coming back, and I was like, "This isn't like this has got to go. This has got to end." It was packed, and it was just this dingy, tiny little stall in the middle of the Newark airport. Oh, dude, it was the worst experience ever. And like I said, I'm not a public pooper. Like, it's not like necessarily a fear, but I hate it. I hate pooping in public. I avoid it at any cost.
I'm gonna say mine might be the Wild Wild West.
Yeah,
That place is a disaster.
that is kind of a disaster.
They actually, like I was in there to fill out last man standing forms for the contest during the tournament, and they've absolutely I was in the bathroom just to use the urinal, but they've absolutely redone them in the last year. I think they used COVID to kind of update a little bit, which is good because before, wow, that place was a mess.
Oh yeah,
but good for them.
All right, folks, we're all done here. Next Monday, we'll be back as usual. Smarter than you. By the way, that's Adam Hill. I'm Jonathan Von Tobel.
Good work.
Explain to everybody there. Appreciate you all joining us. Have a safe.
What's up? I will leave too, I suppose. See you guys.
I totally forgot to end the broadcast.